God himself is longing for a meeting point. You notice that God himself is looking for a point of meeting, of regular meeting. So the first thing we are noting here is that God wants you to establish a place where he could come and meet with you. The way our brother is reading it, he said, let's read it together again, because there will be several issues to raise on that chapter. Chapter 20, I think verse 24. An altar of earth thou shalt make unto me, and thou shalt sacrifice thereon your burnt offerings, your peace offerings, thy sheep, thy oxen, and in all places where I record my name, I will come unto you, and I will bless you. God is longing. You see, this desire for God to reveal himself to us and for us to know him, he himself wants it. So it's okay, let's have a meeting point where I will come to you. I will come to you. I will reveal myself to you. So let's take note that the altar is a place where you and God can fellowship and where God can freely reveal himself. Now we could begin by first looking at the fact that it must be regular, it must be consistent, and it must be a designated kind of space. When it said build it, first dealing with the practical logistics. But the second aspect of it is that our altar of communion with God has to be what? Has to be built. You know, the idea of building is talking about something that starts at a level and is growing. You are building it, you are building it, you are building it. You know that even when you begin to make friends, what do you do with your friends? You build the relationship, you build friendship. Friendship does not just automatically stick without building it. Am I right? So also, a relationship with God has to be built. It has to be built. So when he said, build me an altar, we are talking about building a relationship, a communion with God that is consistent. And from the example of Abraham, we notice that his altars are progressive. When he got to the place and God appeared to him, what did he do? He built an altar on it. That is, learn to build relationship with God on the things that God is doing with you. Don't always let what God does in your life just pass like that. Don't let it fizzle out. Don't let it just vanish. Like our brother said, don't let it vanish. You see, when we look at the way God dealt with men of old, sometimes it is when God gave them a deliverance, maybe from a particular battle, and they are coming back. They say, God, they build an altar and they mark it. Sometimes they call the name of God there. What are they doing? They are using that circumstance to do what? To formulate a basis for further relationship with God.